can get others.
I know I can get others, but I just haven't downloaded those yet. This like this is like the last game chronologically in the series, but it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, this one is kind of distant in plot from the others.
Yeah, but it's probably my favorite actually.
Really?
It's my favorite plot-wise, yeah.
That is true. It is more tense.
This one is super cool. Okay, you ready to dive into this, man?
You know what? How far are we going?
As far as we can go.
Oh boy.
Here we go. And a 3, and a 2, and a 1. Our playthrough has started. First, I gotta type in my name.
Wait, let's make it a combo of our names.
Okay.
Squeeze Blada or something.
It's gonna be too many spaces.
How about just Squeeza? And then with a 3 instead of an E. At the...
Oh. Like that? Like
no,
that?
No. So backspace 4. No, 3 ZA.
Like that?
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty dope. I like that. Yeah. That's the disclaimer. Legit, time for cutscene.
The following events did not take place at IRL. Oh,
you ready for the legit 10-minute cutscene?
Mm-hmm.
This is actually important, so like you gotta watch this.
I am.
Just doesn't seem to add up, Professor.
I honestly thought you were pulling my leg.
What? I wouldn't dream of it.
Professor, I hope this letter finds you well. As for me, I am in quite a predicament. You see, the London we know and love has been thrown into absolute chaos. To complicate matters, the calamity I speak of does not take place in your time. This may be difficult to believe, but I am writing to you from 10 years in the future. I know this is a lot to take in, but I'll explain it all soon. For now, I ask that you head to the clock shop on Midland Road in Baldwin. I look forward to seeing you again.
Yeah, they're all
Your
from London,
student,
so...
Luke Triton.
You get what's happening, so... What?
I'm suspicious of this Luke.
You should be. He may or may not turn out to be someone who you may or may not think that he actually is.
Strange enough, it seems that the author of this letter is none other than your future self, Luke.
From my future self? But how is that even possible?
It's funny how their mouths are so out of sync with the words.
It's like they were part of the game.
But it does raise the question, if this letter is indeed authentic, how did it get here?
Good question. Maybe you shouldn't just follow its directions blindly.
Just joking, of course. But on a more serious note, I think this mystery might be the oddest one we've ever encountered.
Indeed. And even in the future, you seem to need
I'm
my
just
help.
pulling your leg. Why don't we just not go here?
Your constancy can be quite a comfort in these uncertain times, my boy.
Well, thank you, I suppose. But back to the main question. How do we know the letter is real?
Well, we haven't much to go on yet. But I can't help but think that this strange occurrence is connected to the terrible events of last week.
What happened last week? Let's find out. Mystery! Professor Layton has received a letter from the unlikeliest of places, the future. The author claims to be Luke, writing from 10 years in the future. But how is that possible? I wonder.
Good question.
It's
Cutscene.
22:15.
About a week ago.
Using a six-dimension alpha distributor, I was able to guide a concentrated stream of Hammer particles through a temporal vortex, or commonly known as a wormhole.
Is this legit time travel science?
Particles allowed me to divine the terminal points of the vortex. Armed with this information, the next step was to artificially distort the flow of time, generate a massive magnetic field.
I'm not just throwing out bullshit science words.
Once the magnetic
Exactly.
field is firmly established, one has the ability
Magnetic field.
quite literally punch holes or hive gaps into the very fabric of space-time.
How about the machine? Like, even with that whole explanation, it looks like
It is simply a matter of constructing an
it's like one of those things that you make when you go dumpster diving.
Quite the spread we have here, Inspector.
Hey, it's Barton.
Though it does make me wonder what we did to deserve invitations to such a
Barton,
feast.
you're the next. You can be the next Larry Butts.
It's obvious, Barton. I'm an influential man in the world of law
Honored,
enforcement.
are you honored, Barton?
It's only natural I'd be
You know who those
invited
people
to
are,
an
right?
important event such as this.
Yeah.
That's Inspector Chumley and Barton.
I suppose that's possible. Possible, you say? Probable. Highly probable, sir.
Dopes. Okay, now we gotta investigate. What are we gonna investigate? Barton wants to eat his food.
If you don't return my toy, can I read their lines?
Sure.
It should be simply worth it. This roast is simply delectable.
I'll voice one of the characters, you'll voice the other one. Okay, we're gonna go talk to this dude now.
This food is simply dreadful.
Oh, these guys have already got voices.
Get this over with
Yeah,
quickly so
they
we
don't
can
have
leave.
voices. We'll do it.
Oh, yes, dear.
It looks like the guy from Up.
I have to say, I
He
feel
might be a
bit
very
out of
important
place
person.
here, Professor.
Possibly.
Doesn't matter. He still looks like the guy from Up.
That's quite understandable, Luke. I'm sure most people would feel the same way in the presence of the Prime Minister.
He may or may not be the Prime Minister.
Hey, look! I think I see Inspector Charlie over there.
Wow. Observations.
So, Professor, what do you think about this whole event? Do you believe that someone has really built a working time machine?
I'm not entirely sure. Still,
What a cop-out.
if it proves to be true, can you imagine the stir it will cause in the scientific community?
Well, I, for one, am very excited. Though you don't sound entirely convinced, Professor.
Anything's possible, Luke. But I won't be convinced until I've seen the contraption work for myself. And
Yeah,
I
I'm
must
not so
confess,
sure if I'm so convinced
something
about this
about
contraption.
this entire presentation seems a bit off.
Why do you say that? Ah, of course. That must be your famous intuition talking.
Yeah, it's only famous, Luke, because you bring it up like 30 times per game.
That's one way of putting it. But enough speculation. Look over there, Luke.
That guard? What about him?
He seems to be looking for a man who snuck into the event uninvited.
Oh, so we have an intruder in our midst.
Whoa, let's go talk to the guard. Thank you, guide message on the top of the screen for telling me that.
Yay, gameplay.
Oh dear, this is not... Oh, I'll voice this guy. Oh dear, this is not going to go over well. You be Layton now.
You look troubled, sir. Might we be of any assistance?
No, that's Layton, not Luke.
I know.
That was a better Luke voice.
You look troubled.
Oh, yes, please. You see, I've just received a report of some untoward behavior. Puzzle number 1. Purdy Creature. You ready for this, man?
I'll do accents the whole time.
Okay. So, there's an uninvited guest at the event, but the guard has received a few clues as to his whereabouts. Whereabouts. His table...
Whereabouts.
Oh, poor guard. I feel bad for you. Whee! His table is next to one with a red flower. His tablecloth is a different color than any next to it. Oh, and his table isn't decorated with the yellow flower. Okay, so this is the way we gotta do this, is we gotta do the memo function. We gotta cross off all the ones. No.
So, the memo function?
Yeah, there's a
looks
memo.
like the process of elimination.
Yeah, it is, but you gotta use the memo function. This is the memo. What I'm doing now, drawing on the thing is a memo. So, I crossed off all the ones with yellow flowers. Tablecloth is a different color than any next to it. Well, those two don't work then. Those two don't work then. That doesn't work. Okay, well, yeah, we already figured it out. It's this one right here. Okay?
No.
Yeah, it's that one. Submit.
This one's as good as solved. Phew, that's a relief.
Thank you, Luke. Okay, what's he gonna do now? Splendid work, my boy. Okay, thank you. We don't need to read that. Oh, thanks so much for your help. That fellow's mooching days are over. You can be Luke.
Did you see that, Professor? I just aided in the apprehension of a suspect.
Too Scottish. You gotta be more
The
British
days are about to
and...
begin. Let's get back to our seats.
The show's about to begin. Nice guide message. Okay, let's talk to this dude.
I'm gonna bring him a accent.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for taking part in an event that will undoubtedly go down in scientific history.
This guy.
Oh, I love
Here
that.
to demonstrate mankind's first time machine is its creator, Dr. Alan Stangan.
Creepy ass science.
Thank you,
Look very
my esteemed
trustworthy.
colleagues. After years of research in the field of time travel, I am pleased to share the fruits of my labor. In
That's
just
the
a few
fruits
short
of your
moments,
labor?
I will be moving on to our scheduled demonstration.
Scheduled. It's scheduled demonstration.
First, I'm delighted to announce that Prime Minister Bill Hawkes is in attendance today. As such, I have reserved a very special seat for our very special guest.
What's he gonna do? Put him in the time machine and kill him?
Possibly.
Please, join me on stage, Prime Minister. No need to be shy.
Hey, it's that dude.
Is this thing real?
That's the first thing he asks. Is this thing real?
What do you mean? I mean, is this contraption a genuine working time machine? Why don't you have a seat? See for yourself. Before we start, would you honor us with a few words, Prime Minister?
Hey, Prime Minister gives a speech.
Good afternoon, everyone.
This is his famous speech.
Today is a monumental day, not only for our great nation, but for the entire human race. Since the beginning of time, we humans have strived to transcend our natural limits. We have conquered the skies and the seas,
Elected
and
this
we have
asshole.
even traveled to outer space.
His eyes are closed the whole time.
But the one frontier that has always
Alex
eluded us
is
is
chewing on
time.
a slice of cake.
Indeed, traveling through time is a dream
no,
many
it's like
thought was out
he
of
has
reach for humanity.
one of those like caramel suckers in like the back of his mouth.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you will join me in ushering in a new era for mankind.
Whee! Thank you, Prime Minister. Good job, man.
Thank you for those words, Prime Minister. And now for the moment you've all been waiting for. Please take it away, Dr. Stangan.
We all know what's coming.
Before we start,
Oh
I
boy.
very much appreciate the Prime Minister's assistance in this demonstration.
Oh, I called it.
It wasn't that hard to
What do
figure
you
out.
say, Mr. Hawks?
What?
What? That's his
He just woke up.
Yeah.
I assure you, there's no cause for concern.
But I was under the impression that I would merely be observing the proceedings.
Such a classic British line right there. But I was under the impression that I would merely be observing the proceedings.
Let me rephrase. Well, such a classic Japanese British line.
It was never my wish to make you uncomfortable.
Oh, here comes flattery.
I realize it's been some time since you traded in the hard sciences for the softer variety. Please, feel free to return to your seat, Prime Minister.
Wait. What I mean to say is, of course I can assist you.
Well, it's all downhill from here.
Bill, have you lost your mind?
That's his wife.
No, he's still kind of sucking on that caramel in the back of his mouth.
You have my thanks. And now, without further ado, I give you my time machine. Mr. Hawks.
How could anyone trust this
step
asshole?
inside.
He's asking him to step inside the time machine. Oh no.
Oh boy. This was where all of the budget went for this one scene to animate it. Get ready for the whole game's budget.
It looks really good, actually.
I know.
It's funny how there's a clock on the time machine.
They just have, he has to know that what time it is.
Yeah. Here comes...
Oh, he is so dead. Can someone explain to me where the time thing is happening? Because right now I just see a system malfunctioning.
And it blows up.
First of all, that was not enough to kill that guy.
Oh,
No.
it's Harry's here.
Something's gone very wrong.
That's not right. You gotta bring... Please don't tell me that there's more coming.